We make 6 loads of feed every day. We have 2 high strings and 1 low string, so 3 different pens of milk cows, and then we have a far off and a close-up pen. So we feed, I guess technically 7 loads of feed every day. Right now I am making the high cow load. All the milk cow loads have the same ingredients, just at different quantities. The high cow load has more alfalfa, more soybean meal, more corn, and more corn silage. So the high cow load is a higher concentrate diet. The low cow load is a higher forage diet. The high cow group is made up of mostly the more fresh cows. So it's primarily cows that are under 200 days in milk, and then cows that are close to going dry or tapering off on production, or just generally over 200 days in milk are in the low cow group. We use One Feed by Milk Group. As a kid growing up learning how to feed cows, I would have a piece of paper with a cow magnet up on the wall of the tractor, and I'd have to look at the scale and I'd say, okay, 250 pounds of alfalfa, 300 pounds of almond hulls, 400 pounds of this, and I'd be looking at the scale on the mixer wagon and trying to do addition, and then I'd screw something up, and then I'd have to figure out what I'm gonna do if I mess it up bad or whatever. And now with One Feed, it just cues me as to what the next ingredient is. It hooks up with Bluetooth to the feed scale, and then it tells me how much of each ingredient based off of our rations that we plugged in, how much it needs to go. So then as I add ingredients, it counts down. So I used to have to count up in my head, and now the software just cues me and counts down for me. So it's really, really handy. So we feed a TMR, and we feed a combination of alfalfa. We have 2 different kinds of grass silages that we blend: corn silage, almond hulls, ground corn, a soybean meal, a vitamin mineral pack, and water. So those are our ingredients that we add into both our high and low cow ration. Oh, and a bypass fat. AMTS is the software that we utilize to make rations. It's almost like an Excel spreadsheet, and it has all of the different book values for all of these different feeds, and then for homegrown feeds we're able to put in custom numbers, and then with that we're able to throw that all together and try to create rations based on the different price points that we have our feed at, and try to decide what ration we're going to feed and how we're going to do it. I'm done loading up most of my silage and alfalfa and almond hulls, so now I'm going over to our grain tanks and where our minerals and bypass fat are, and then we're going to add that into the ration next. Every day we push out refusals. So refusals are whatever the cows don't eat within the day. So what we aim for is we aim for somewhere between like 3 and 5% refusal. So before we scrape, Genevieve will go through and push out refusals, and then I'll pick up those refusals and I'll feed them to another group of cows so that they will clean that up, because it's mostly just forages that they leave behind. So we'll feed the waybacks, the refusals from our high cow groups to our low cow group. So we are just about to go outside in spring, so it's April right now, and pretty soon we're going to be going out to pasture. We've been having some nice weather, the grass is growing really fast, it's starting to dry out. So the last, whatever that is, since November, we've been feeding just a full TMR, where all the ingredients are all mixed together in one mixer wagon, so every mouthful of feed is exactly the same. So I'm going to open my door and then turn my PTO on and start feeding out. Here we go. Our cows are like our co-workers, and if we treat them well, then they'll treat us well, and if we help them out, then they'll help us out. And that's kind of how we function as dairy farmers on a day-to-day basis. We're always just trying to plan around them and make their life as stress-free as possible, and as productive as possible. We as farmers like being productive, we like getting things done, and I like to imagine if cows could talk, they'd like to say that they'd like to be productive members of the herd as well.